Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. I appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Always appreciate it. Now, sometimes there comes a game that just the name alone makes you want to check it out. You hear the name, you're like, wait a minute, what kind of game is that? And I'm talking about Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Now, if you've never heard of this game, let me just give you a little brief synopsis. It's a beat 'em up, and the game has you fighting different people. You're like basically like a park ranger of sorts, right? There's these poachers out here trying to poach dinosaurs, because in this world, dinosaurs exist and they walk around and they be with the same places humans are. They're kind of like another version of animals, right? And so this group wants to protect those dinosaurs. And then it kind of goes from there into this whole, like, you know, you stop them so they come after you type of thing. You know how it goes in these beat 'em ups, right? They got to make an enemy out of you for the rest of the game. Now, that's just the premise of the game. But when you actually play it, what you have is a very, very solid beat 'em up, right? And this is a game I did not play in the arcades originally. I originally played this by acquiring it through untold means. But let's just say I played it on my computer. And this was during a time where I was just trying to find all of these arcade games that I never got a chance to play, but also, you know, picking out some new ones to see how it goes, because I was excited that I could play these arcade games. So it's me and my cousin Corey, and I'm like, hey man, this game is called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Let's see what it's about. Of course, he's with it. So he's like, all right, let's do it. And we loaded up, and it is this beat 'em up, and we're like, all right, it's a beat 'em up. It can't be too bad. And it turns out it was pretty good. Another thing is it has guns and different weapons in it. Very similar to the Punisher game that I played on the Genesis. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that game, but that gives you an idea of what we're talking about. But it's very smooth. You can run, which is always a good thing. Anytime you can run in a beat 'em up game, it's always a bonus, because that allows for a certain level of maneuverability that you really will need. Because, you know, beat 'em ups like to surround you. They like to put you in precarious situations, and being able to dash changes a lot of that. You know, they got 4 different characters. So you got the main character, Jack, you got Mustafa, you got the heavy as always, and then you got the young lady. And I wanted to show you a few different characters. You know, for some reason, besides Streets of Rage, I'm not a big protagonist player. So I usually try to find like one of the other people that's with them. So that's why I picked Mustafa first. And then I had to pick my boy Moss, because, you know, I'm about those heavy boys, those grapplers. So I had to see what was going on with him. But as always, with these type of games, there's not really a bad person in the game. It's just your play style. You know, you pick who you want to play with. Main character is usually a bit of even across the board. Then you have the other characters that usually skew either towards faster or stronger. But, you know, the different levels, I didn't go through every level in the video because I just wanted to show you some of the game. I really hope that you get a chance to pick it up yourself and play some of the game, you know, because I think it's pretty cool. The end screen, or when you have to continue, is one of those classic type of screens where, you know, there's either like Final Fight was always cool for this, having the dynamite you got to blow out, you know, the TNT, but just having the guy point the gun at you, and then when you press start you punch him. I always thought that was a neat type of screen, and I think more games can benefit from having something other than just press start to continue. You know, get a people something visual, make me feel like I want to put a quarter in if I didn't. You know, even if I'm playing it, you know, on the computer or playing it on console, you know, still give me that feeling. I always think that's a neat type of thing, and it always, you know, it's like a Easter egg type of thing. Yeah, you don't technically have to put coins in, but just do it for me anyway. But then, you know, another thing this game does is you got these driving sequences, hence the Cadillac, right? So you actually drive the car and you're just running through people. And if you weren't terrible like I am, you can actually beat the boss without ever getting out of your vehicle. And I always thought that was cool, because one time I actually did it. Wasn't able to accomplish it for the video, but hey, you know what this is. I'm just doing the best I can. The other neat thing was that the game is 3 players. And I always find anytime it's more than 2, you got a bonus point in my book. I know that's a very silly thing to, you know, give kudos for, but I always thought it was cool when you can have more than just 2, because sometimes it's not just you and a friend. Sometimes it's, you know, it's the gang together. It's 3 of you. Sometimes it's 4. Which is why games like X-Men and games like Ninja Turtles, which were 4 and 6 players, depending on the arcade cabinet that you got a chance to use, like, the more the merrier, right? So give me more. 2 is great, you know, it's cool, but 3 and up is amazing, and you get points for it in my book. So, you know, I said it, I meant it. But yeah, I mean, it's your standard beat 'em up. There's nothing too crazy about it. Nothing really bad about it. It's a solid game. So if you have a chance to play it, I definitely think that you should. It's probably, I would say, a solid B if I had to give it some sort of grade. Like, it's definitely not in the same level as like Streets of Rage 2 or Streets of Rage 4, but it's definitely in the same category, I would say, as like the first Dungeons and Dragons game, not the second one. The second one was a little too good. That's an A game. Or like if you play the Knights of the Round game, it's in that same vein. You know, there's no level ups or things like that, but I think the inclusion of using guns and explosives and those things give it a bonus in my book to make it, you know, more than just your average beat 'em up. So if you played this game, let me know, you know, what you thought about it. What you think about the name first and foremost when you saw it. I'd love to hear from you if you played it originally in the arcade. What was the response from the other arcade players when they saw a game called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs? Because I've never seen this in a while. Even at Galloping Ghost, I think when I went, they didn't have this one. Or maybe they did and I just didn't pay attention to it because I'd already played it. But I don't remember it. So if you've seen one of these in a while, please let me know. But I appreciate you taking our time to check out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, as always, have fun, be safe. Peace.